Hey, what is up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you with my good buddy here, Mr. Gemni686. We're doing a little close to 30 and over 30 pay-per-view rundown. We got Capital Punishment going on this Sunday, Father's Day. Jim, what are you doing for Father's Day tomorrow?
I'm barbecuing, dude.
There you go. There you go. I got a little barbecue action after work tomorrow going on too. All in all, you ready to see some good wrestling action tomorrow?
Yeah, it should be an interesting show. It's a new concept on their pay-per-view. We'll see how it goes. It should be a good pay-per-view.
I'm not the biggest fan of having a pay-per-view every month. It's fun to have some wrestling action here and there, but I don't know. Nothing beats anything like going back to the good old days of the Big Five, and pay-per-views actually really mattered, and they weren't just about putting dollars in the Vince McMahon piggy bank. But that's just me. So from here, we'll just jump into some matches. We'll just throw them out there and give our thoughts and our rundowns, pick some winners, see what's going on. All in all, if there's going to be a dark match to the pay-per-view, I'm saying this is the hottest feud going on that's not on the card. Jack Swagger and Evan Bourne. Who are you picking?
Swagger, coming off his WrestleMania run, with Michael Cole and Lawler. Big, young, strong, good-looking guy, can talk a little bit. I like Jack Swagger in this one. He's a good competitor, former world champion, and he knows how to work a little bit. So I'm going to go with Swagger on this one.
I'm picking Swagger myself. Swagger's just the man. Evan Bourne's got the quick jump on him a little bit. Last year Evan Bourne looked like he was getting a big push. Then they sort of held back because of the big Nexus angle. Bourne's got a big future, but there's no way I'm picking against the Swagger man. From here, let's jump into a real feud. We got Kofi, Kingston, and Dolph Ziggler lining up for the U.S. title. Where are you going with this one?
Dolph Ziggler, I like him. I think he's on a good push right now, and he got to do that promo with Austin backstage. I really like what Dolph Ziggler brings to the table. He's good. He's actually a pretty good technician on the mat. He can talk a little bit. He's got Vicky Guerrero out there, and he seems to have the machine behind him. So I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler on this one. I think
Dolph Ziggler, the guy can work. He's come a long way from the Spirit Squad. What tips my hat that Dolph Ziggler's winning the title. Everybody, when they were marking out on Monday Night Raw, when we actually had our boy Zack Ryder in the ring, the commentary was all about Ziggler. It was all about getting Ziggler over with Ziggler and Cole and Vicky. Kofi to me just really hasn't done anything with this U.S. title run, and I always like the title, the mid-card titles more when you're building up heels. And to me, Ziggler would be a great U.S. title holder. He held the world title for all of 15 minutes back on SmackDown. So I think they need to sort of get him back up into that sort of mid to main event slot, which I think he will work to. And I think his short but sweet title win, or title given, I guess you would say, sort of knocked him down a couple pegs in the fans' eyes. Look at this, the Cena man over there. From there, we'll go into a feud going on Monday Night Raw. We got CM Punk and Mysterio in a match that sort of seems like they're pushing out two of their guys out there to make sure they're still on the card. Who are you going with, Punk and Mysterio?
Well, the first things first, these guys have been having great matches on Monday Night Raw, so I look for a good wrestling match tomorrow. But I like Rey Mysterio in this match. We'll see him possibly leaving and everything. I would pick Rey Mysterio to win in this match.
I'm picking CM Punk. I mean, CM Punk, he left your boy John Cena laying in the middle of the ring. It's the first win he's had in a long time. And hopefully, the rumors of CM Punk leaving, isn't, true. Hopefully they've come to some agreement. Because normally, when guys are on the way out, they don't let them beat anybody. And I mean, letting them beat the face of the company's pretty big. Even to see Punk wins trending on Twitter after Monday Night Raw. I'm going with my heart. I'm picking CM Punk over Mysterio. That's just the way I hope it goes down. From here, we'll go into a real blood feud, I guess you can say. Two guys that really just want to kill each other. Big Show and Alberto Del Rio, and just an old-fashioned grudge match.
Look for Big Show to KO him real quick. Big Show, like I said, if you and me were in an alley and we were going to fight the Big Show, don't ask me for help because I would already be 5 miles up the street running from the Big Show. You wouldn't want him pissed off at you. I like Big Show to KO him real quick.
Big Show has KO'd him before. I believe it was Survivor Series last year. But I'm going the opposite direction. I think you have to have your future face of the company, Del Rio, who's beat just about everybody he's come into path with. It's very hard to remember the very few losses that Del Rio has laid down for. I think he is the future face of WWE. I've called him the Ric Flair of the real world's champion. I like that gimmick, and I think it's basically pretty much the same thing that they're doing with Del Rio as they did with Flair back in the early '90s when he came over from WCW. And I don't think that I don't think Del Rio is going down for anybody. I think it's early for him to beat a monster like the Big Show. I think it would have been better for him once he was champion to have to beat one of these big guys. But I'm going to go with Del Rio over Big Show. We'll head on over to the Intercontinental title ship match. We got Ezekiel Jackson against the champion, Wade Barrett. Where are you going?
Well, as discussed before, we talked about Wade Barrett and his devotion since, he left the Nexus. I mean, last year's time he was on top of Raw. Big, young, strong guy who can talk. I like Wade Barrett. I like what he had to offer at Survivor Series last year in the Free or Fired match. I really don't like the core. I think it's a half-assed angle. I don't think they give him proper time. I don't think Wade Barrett's going anywhere, but I do like him to win this match. I really like Wade Barrett. I'm a fan of Wade Barrett. Any big, strong guy who can talk that eloquently, you have to be a fan of. So I'm going with Wade Barrett.
Everybody knows that SmackDown is Monday Night Raw's bitch. And I've never figured out why Wade Barrett was the leader. He was the lead heel and carried Monday Night Raw with John Cena for months upon months. He gets switched over to SmackDown and hasn't even sniffed the main event yet. It doesn't make any sense to me. I thought it was very cool that they put the Intercontinental title on him, to sort of hold his spot so he wasn't falling down anywhere. I think the breakup of the core and this being a rematch. I don't think they want to bust, Ezekiel Jackson down the card. I don't think they want to bury him at all. So I am picking Big Zeke to win the Intercontinental title. I have tried to picture this in my mind. Big Zeke holding an Intercontinental title, and I think his body would swallow it whole and make it look like a miniature kid's belt. But I think Ezekiel Jackson will be getting the win for the Intercontinental title, and hopefully Wade Barrett will move on to have bigger fish to fry, like the next month's Money in the Bank. It's hard to picture him in a ladder match being a big guy, but hopefully this will be the start of his big push towards the main event of SmackDown.
I agree. Please put Wade Barrett out there. He's awesome.
There you go. And then we'll move on to the student against the teacher match. Miz against Alex Riley. The apprenticeship is done, you can say, for Alex Riley. And they are in a full-blown feud. And let's see, Gemini, who are you picking? The Miz and Alex Riley.
Well, we were discussing this, and it could go either way. Okay, so you can't have Alex Riley and Miz do a swerve where they get back together or something and then that puts more heat on the Miz because he tricked the crowd and the crowd's pissed off at him. Just thinking about it. But I like the Miz to go over. They've spent a lot of them. The Miz is their guy right now, and I look for Miz to win and be back in the title picture here real quick.
I would like that just as much as you myself. I think it's the people sort of got sick of the Miz, I guess you can say. Everybody around Survivor Series when he won the title, everybody was thinking he was the hip new thing. It was fun to see somebody except for Cena carry Monday Night Raw. Alex Riley, being a young guy, I think it's really cool that he's getting to go up against a former champion so fast, especially on a pay-per-view. I believe this is his debut, actually wrestling on a pay-per-view match. Just for politics reasons, I think they're going to hold Riley down. Not many guys get to beat, somebody on their first pay-per-view, let alone a former champion. I think there is a lot of hope and future for Alex Riley. I think he's a great worker. And I hope these guys can deliver a real big match. Danny, Mr. O Phenomenal, runs a blog, said he just went to the house show. He said that this match wasn't that good. Did not live up to the hype, so I'm hopefully they work some of the kinks out and it can be better for the pay-per-view audience. I am picking The Miz to win. He is the former champion. You got to keep him up there. I don't want to hold Riley down. He's going to have a great, future, but, you got to walk before you can run. And I don't think Riley's going to be going out beating former champions. And I don't think that's how they want to start his career, where it's, a big jump and he has to live up to that hype and he's just not able to grab on. I think it would hurt him more than it would help him. From there, we'll move over to the Monday Night Raw main event. I believe SmackDown will be hosting the actual real main event. They've had the best matches. So we will go John Cena against RTruth. I am asking the biggest Cena fan on YouTube, Mr. Gemni686. I don't know why we're asking this question, but will John Cena keep the title?
Definitely, definitely. RTruth is another opponent out there to help Cena get over for preparation for their match next year at WrestleMania. You know, when the Rock and Cena get together, in probably the biggest match in wrestling in 20 years, in my opinion. But RTruth will be. John Cena will give RTruth some spots and make him look good, and he'll do his interviews and his little Jenny and Jimmy shit, whatever he does. But in the end, RTruth's gonna get beat. And John Cena goes over, I think.
I'm picking Cena myself. I mean, it's great to see a new face. You know, Raw doesn't really make new faces that well. They just sort of steal guys from SmackDown in the draft and make up BS reasons for guys to jump shows. But I mean, RTruth is a guy that's been around for a long time since he jumped over from TNA, and they've been trying to do some stuff with him. I mean, they've never really showed that they wanted this guy to be a main event guy, but for him to jump from the U.S. title to actually holding a main event feud that people care about, and actually some people are picking him to win the title, it's a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those guys. I'm a realist. I don't think RTruth will become the champion. It will be shocking. I mean, you know, it'll definitely get people talking. It'll definitely, you know, bring back some people that are, you know, on the I hate Cena train and be like, wow, they're actually not letting Cena win every match until WrestleMania. You know, some people are actually saying that this is like a stepping stone to WrestleMania. Like they're just giving Cena easy fights so that way they can have this championship match with The Rock. And I'm not one of those people. I think that they actually made a competitor, but you know, Cena's gonna beat him because Cena's Cena and RTruth is RTruth. You know, Pretty Ricky, whatever you want to call him. I'm looking forward. I think if anything with RTruth, the Morrison feud is gonna be excellent. I mean, that's gonna be top notch 5-star wrestling in my mind.
Agreed.
There you go. Here we go. Let's move on. The real main event, SmackDown. These guys have delivered every time they've been asked to go out there. And they've just given great matches. Christian and Randy Orton.
Well, wow. Well, I mean, what can you really say about this feud? This is the match, the two guys that have me tuning into Friday Night SmackDown every week religiously because I can't miss what they're going to do next to each other. I love the heel turn. Randy Orton's the face of SmackDown. I think that Randy Orton's going to beat him, but I don't think that means that Christian is going to go away. I think that their feud will continue, but tomorrow will probably be Randy Orton's night. But I love the feud. I think it's the best feud in WWE right now, and it has me watching SmackDown every week just to see what those two are going to do next. They have good chemistry with each other. It's hard to explain, but sometimes you watch a feud with two guys and they don't have good chemistry. These two have excellent chemistry with each other. They work really well together. So
I was surprised myself. These guys have been asked to deliver, and they've delivered big. And they're two guys I don't think have ever, you know, really worked together. And they're two guys that I really wouldn't pick to say they would have a great match, and they just pulled it out. A lot of fans went crazy when the spoiler broke that Orton beat him after Christian had won the title. And you know, a lot of people said they would never watch SmackDown again. That was a lot of people's videos on YouTube that they were so heartbroken that Christian was given the title and lost it so fast. And these guys, with their wrestling and, you know, just this great feud of, you know, the numbers of SmackDown have gone up huge ever since that record-breaking slump that they had that 1 week when the big YouTube whole blacklist SmackDown that week went down, and I couldn't believe that it actually a title change to deliver that low of a number. But the numbers have gone back to average, if not even better. So just to keep Christian in the main event and make this Orton feud go longer. There are guys on SmackDown like Wade Barrett and Sheamus that do deliver title shots, but I don't think you want to end this feud so well because so many people are talking about it. And I mean, good wrestling is good wrestling, and it's hard to, you know, to take a pair away. So I am picking good old Christian to win this match, and hopefully his title run this time will last longer than to the TV taping on Tuesday.
It'll be interesting. It'll be the match of the night. There's no doubt about it.
Oh wow, the match of the night. You know. I'm really expecting a lot out of this Mysterio and Punk match. If you're actually talking about wrestling action, I think that's the match that's going to give you the best. CM Punk knows how to work, and Mysterio pulls some stuff out. I mean, I thought that the match they had over a year ago, WrestleMania 26, I thought that stole the show at WrestleMania as far as great wrestling. That's the match I'm looking forward to. You know, I love wrestling. I embrace it. I love the storylines and everything else as well. But when you get a good wrestling match, that's something you can sink your teeth in and watch it over and over again.
Agreed.
That's good. All right. I hope you have a good Father's Day, Gemni, and for Capital Punishment. Hope everybody out there enjoys it. Leave your comments down below. As you know, Gemini's back. He's 686 Gemini, and he's here
follow
on
me on
YouTube
Twitter too.
to stay.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, 686 Gemini. All right.
Yeah, come on.
All right. See ya. Yeah, come on.
Video. Stop recording.